ZeldaInformer.com here, and we like to think we know a thing or two about The Legend of Zelda. Whether it's about the timelines, what we want in a new Zelda game, or simply wanting to finally get our hands on the Triforce, we tend to enjoy speaking our minds. While no top listing's definitive, we'd like to think we know what we're talking about. While the Zelda series has certainly been varied in its reception, its placement among the greatest franchises of all time can simply never be questioned. And we know that when it comes to Zelda, an argument can be made on almost every game being among the best of the best. And your personal favorite may not have made the list, but I think we can all agree that these 5 games are what Zelda is all about.
Number 5.
Link's Awakening. While Shigeru Miyamoto is often credited with the success of the Zelda franchise, Link's Awakening is truly Takashi Tezuka's coming out party. As the first handheld Zelda game in existence, one often wondered how Zelda would transition to the new handheld format. Link's Awakening brought back the classic Legend of Zelda feel with its own charm. Unique new enemies, the introduction of the closest thing Link had to a jump button, and the engrossing story that ended up all being a dream left people in pure wonder. While Tezuka has never headed any other Zelda game since, one could say that out of his entire career, Link's Awakening is his definitive creation.
Number 4.
A Link to the Past. Returning to its roots after the failure in sales of The Adventure of Link, A Link to the Past set new standards in adventure gameplay that still resonate in many of today's games. It took the best of what the original Legend of Zelda did, a few good ideas implemented in The Adventure of Link, and gave us arguably the most defining Zelda title in the series. It set up a permanent formula of success that is seen in nearly every Zelda title since, and put together the most engrossing story yet. With several debates on the placement and importance of the game in the overarching timeline, it's clear A Link to the Past left its mark in gaming history.
Number 3.
The Wind Waker. While some may argue a certain other game was Eiji Aonuma's real success, one can't deny the influence he had on one of the most controversial gaming titles to ever exist. The first in the line of cel-shaded Zelda titles, it was often criticized for its dramatic graphical change from its previous titles. However, for those who could look past the change, what they found was one of the largest Zelda kingdoms to ever exist. From exploring the vast ocean and finding all its treasures, to visiting the old Hyrule and finally meeting the king, The Wind Waker truly had something for everyone. All of it came together nicely with the addition of counterattacks, and if you ever got bored sailing the wide open waters, there was always some gloriously created music to help keep you in the mood. The Wind Waker remains as one of the most underappreciated games to date, and its style we hope returns to console gaming at some point in the not-too-distant future.
Number 2.
Ocarina of Time. Ocarina of Time is synonymous with Zelda. It is often regarded as the greatest game of all time, showing what the true combination of Shigeru Miyamoto and Eiji Aonuma can create when they put their minds together. It was the first title to bring the world of Hyrule into the 3D realm, and did so in a fashion no one thought possible. It virtually pioneered the lock-on targeting system that is still used in many of today's games, and contains some of the most beloved moments in gaming history. To many, Ocarina of Time is Zelda. It's what we grew up on as kids and young adults, and to a point, may be the reason we even play games today. Time travel, a more involved musical instrument, horseback riding, dungeon crawling, and possibly the most controversial ending to a game in the entire series, Ocarina of Time deserves a spot on any top gaming list.
Number 1.
Majora's Mask. It's no secret we love Majora's Mask here at ZeldaInformer.com, but it's not without good reason. Featuring a new land known as Termina, impending doom moments, some of the most fluent and emotionally touching side quests in all of Zelda, and one of the most surprising boss fights and ending scenes in any game to date, it's clear why this game deserves to be at the top of the list. It's a follow-up to Ocarina of Time, and only developed in just 1 year. It had big shoes to fill, and did so in the most unexpected ways. A surprising and controversial story that centered around saving the world in just 3 days, less dungeons, harder enemies, and for the first time since The Legend of Zelda, being thrust into a world without any idea of what's going on. Those that put in the time were rewarded with Link's most fulfilling story to date, a world where, if you did the side quests, you felt connected to everyone and everything. A world where when you saved a race of people, you could see the joy on their faces as they celebrated. A world that had such an involved story arc that to this day, 9 years after the fact, people are still dissecting what it all means. For this and so much more, Majora's Mask is our #1 Zelda game of all time.